I'm Sophie Uliano, author of the Gorgeously Green book series, and I'm going to show you how to create a more eco-friendly table setting. So it's just a few really simple tweaks that you can do to make it just a little bit more eco-friendly and actually really pretty. So here's a few tips for you. The first thing is candles on the table. Make absolutely sure that your candles are beeswax or soy wax candles, because paraffin wax burns in a way that's pretty toxic. In some of my other videos, you can find out how to make these really simple beeswax candles. I love beeswax because it gives off a slightly honey scent, which is beautiful. So that's the candles. The second thing is, on the table, I like to have things that look homemade and actually are homemade. I think it gives for a really nice feel for your table setting. So I have here some oil, some herb-infused oil that I made myself with olive oil and a few herbs. I have gourmet herby salt, which is some beautiful salt flakes that are mixed with herbs and people can just dip into. I have here some little tiny plates to pour the oil into so you can dip your bread. I have a recycled glass pitcher and a recycled glasses. And I love to use recycled glass when possible. It's very easy to get hold of nowadays and is obviously much more eco-friendly. In my glass pitcher, I have filtered water instead of buying bottles of water, and I have just some organic lemons in there to give it a lovely lemony flavor. For the table setting itself, I brought a lot of green into the table set, the actual color green, because I think it makes a statement and lends itself to bringing in nature and making the whole thing look really green. Now, this is one thing that I always do for my centerpiece, is that I don't go and buy expensive flowers from the florist, because A, it costs a lot of money and flowers tend to be very heavily pesticided. So what I do is I bring in whatever I can find that's outside. So either from my yard, if you've got a garden or a front or backyard, just snip off as much greenery as you can, or walk down a country lane or go and find a friend's garden or something and just hack off. Here I've just got pieces that I found down a country lane and bits and pieces. This is sort of not during the summertime, so I haven't got that many flowers. And again, I think it looks lovely. The other thing that you can do is put herbs. So you can put rosemary and lavender and things like that in your centerpiece. And then finally, for the actual setting itself here, I've got vintage silver that I picked up at a thrift store or a flea market. And I also have vintage plates that were the same. So they were very, very inexpensive. And the final touch that's probably the most important is always use cloth napkins as opposed to paper napkins, because paper napkins, A, aren't very nice, and B, they are not at all eco-friendly. And for this one, as you can see here, I've wrapped around it a piece of dried lavender, and then this is just simply from the handles of an old bag. So that's a few ideas on how to create an eco-friendly table setting. I'm Sophie Uliano, and remember, you can always do it yourself and do it gorgeously.